Thank you very much. Now we'll hear a few words from Jim Lipuma. I have to give a few thank yous to Jim Lipuma, who is a professor in the Department of Humanities and the director of the Collaborative for Leadership, Education and Assessment Research at NJIT, who really formed the bulwark and the foundation for this event today, as well as Jeremy Reich and all the students who are involved, and we'll thank them over lunch. But now it's time to hear a few words from Dr. Lipuma. Oh, and let me just thank Santander for putting up the money for today's event. Thank you to Santander Bank.
I'm the stall. So first of all, if somebody asks for money, they shouldn't have. Everything that you see today is part of our mission to better the education of science and technology and collaboration across the state of New Jersey, USA, and the world. We were supposed to now hear from the United States Army, but due to circumstances beyond my control, they're not here. So I am going to talk to you briefly to keep us on schedule, and then you will hear from the other people that will be taking you around today, and we will release you about the day today. But my job at NJIT, besides being a professor and teaching communications and digital studies for how to do instructional design, supporting teachers and professional development and things like that, is to develop collaborations. And one of the biggest things that we're doing recently is something called integrated STEAM. So many of you are here because we asked for people interested in STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But part of what you're going to see today is that it goes well beyond just those disciplines or what you conceive of those facts and ideas and processes from those disciplines. Science, at its heart, is an exploration of the world to help you better understand and solve problems. And that is at the heart of everything NJIT does. We are here to help solve all problems of all people. Now, that's a big task. We don't know what your problems are unless we communicate. We don't discount anyone's ideas because you never know when that idea might lead to something spectacular. And so part of what we're asking you today to do is have an open mind, experience, add to your lexicon of knowledge and abilities that you can tap on in the future and go, oh, I remember this time I was at NJIT and I saw a robot that could do a Rubik's Cube. And I talked to a guy from the Army and he talked about security clearances as something that you never know how a connection will fit. And I will share a very simple story that illustrates this. There was a problem in the northwest of the United States with ice building up on power lines. Common problem. The way they used to solve it was literally have a technician climb those high power cables with a stick and hit the lines one at a time. And if he didn't do it, they would break and they would lose power throughout the grid. And so they said, well, what can we do? And I guess in the meeting, one of the guys said, you know, wish we could just fly over like Superman and flap our wings and knock it down. And they all laughed, it's stupid. And one guy said, well, why don't we do that? Like, what do you mean? We can't fly. He goes, no, why don't we buy a flight of helicopters and have them come in and literally hover over the lines and knock all the snow down? And they're like, that'll never work. And he's like, why not? And they went, I don't know. So they did a pilot test, literally with pilots, and it turned out that for the cost of one technician, they could solve their problem, not only in their area, but for the entire West Coast. And it started with one person saying to the other something that in their own mind was probably a little ridiculous. And there's millions of these kinds of stories and anecdotes of how an idea became something greater through that simple process of imagine, design, engineer, assess, idea. And so my hope today is that you will get some good ideas to help us in the future. And, put on my other hat, we all would love you to come to NJIT and apply. So that's what we want. Now, thank you. My other hat, I'm the collaborative at this school. If you as a student have interest, if you as a teacher need someone to collaborate with, outside will be my cards. You can always reach us. I will try to connect you with the right people Today, we've set up a PD for a group of your teachers who will not be circulating with you about hands-on 3D printing, technology in the classroom, and stuff like that. So if you would like to collaborate, if you would like some expertise in some area, NJIT is here to help. And if you don't know who to call me, email me. I'm here to help. Thank you.